Humans have been eating eggs from birds since prehistoric times. Plenty of birds and animals lay eggs and people consume them as well. But chicken eggs are without a doubt the most common and most popular. Over 129 billion eggs were produced just in India alone in 2022. In 1986, the figure was 16 billion. That's really an excellent increase for a country where around 40% of the people are vegetarians. If you're a 90s kid, you would remember the ads that used to appear on good old Doordarshan proclaiming the goodness of eating eggs. Remember the Sunday Hoya Monday, Rose Kai Ande ad with many celebrities of the time endorsing the eating of eggs? I really miss those kind of ads these days. Good times, good times. Even though eggs are such a well-loved kind of food, there are many myths and misconceptions regarding eggs existing in the minds of people. One of the questions is, can the eggs they get from the supermarket hatch into chicks or not? So this video aims to clarify that and also crack open some other myths surrounding those tiny white egg-shaped eggs. Of course, the most common question has always been whether it was the egg or the chicken which came first. But I've already addressed this question with scientific evidence in this video. So please check it out if you haven't already. We will also discuss if eating the yolk increases cholesterol and whether eating broiler chicken is dangerous to health. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. आओ सिखा दूं तुम्हें अंडे का फंडा, ये नहीं प्यारे कोई मामूली बंदा. Welcome to Pale Blue Thoughts, the one-stop shop for scientific content. It is a known fact that hens lay eggs, and many people mistake this egg to be the embryo. However, this is a wrong notion. The eggs that hens lay are similar to our ovum. Human women ovulate once every month, whether they are having sex or not, and that ovulation means releasing an egg. Now, if it is fertilized by mating, that is, if it mixes with active semen, it stays inside the woman's uterus as an embryo and begins to replicate and grow into a fetus. However, not many people know that hens can lay eggs with or without the presence of a rooster. For the eggs to be fertilized, the hen and rooster must mate first, and this process must occur prior to the formation of the egg. Thus, if the hen has mated and she lays an egg, then that egg could be fertilized. If the hen has not mated and she lays an egg, then that egg is unfertilized. It has also been said that a hen lays fertilized eggs for a week if it has mated even once. But what happens in chicken farms? In fact, laying hens at most commercial farms have never even seen a rooster. They keep hens and roosters away from each other. In fact, many farms don't have roosters at all. So all the eggs that the hens lay would be unfertilized, and that is collected and reaches your grocery stores and supermarket. So there is no chance that those eggs would be fertilized and hence won't develop into chicks. Now, hens sit over the eggs to help them hatch. This process is called brooding. Hens do not brood over unfertilized eggs. Brooding refers to the act of a female bird incubating her eggs to keep them warm and facilitate their development. This ensures that the eggs get the right amount of heat or temperature and the right amount of humidity. Hens typically brood over fertilized eggs that have the potential to hatch into chicks. You can tell fertilized chicken eggs apart from unfertilized ones by a process called candling. This is a process traditionally used by farmers years ago. In this process, they hold the egg up to the candlelight so you can point out the blood spots and embryo. Some eggs would appear opaque. These opaque eggs are the fertilized ones. Nowadays, you can find lights made specifically for candling eggs, but the process is still called that, candling. Candling is often used in poultry farming to determine if an egg is fertilized, monitor embryo growth, and check for any defects or abnormalities. If you crack the egg open, you can also see some differences between fertilized and unfertilized eggs. You can see the white circle present in the egg yolk is more defined in fertilized chicken eggs than in their unfertilized counterparts. You can also see small red lines running along the surface of the egg yolk. People commonly mistake the chalaze, a white stringy material found inside the egg, to be the embryo, but this is not so. The chalaze functions as a sort of barrier to prevent eggs from breaking. Also, once the fertilized egg is stored inside a fridge, the embryo no longer undergoes any change or development. That is because the eggs need the right temperature of around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and the humidity should be around 50 to 55% for the first 18 days, and for the last 3 days it should be raised to 65%. And since it is very difficult to maintain these conditions at our homes, even if there was a fertilized egg in your hand, it is not likely to hatch. Next misconception: should eggs be stored in refrigerators? Some people store eggs in the kitchen at a normal room temperature, whereas some others store eggs in the fridge. What does science say? For chicken eggs intended for consumption, it is generally recommended to store them in the refrigerator rather than leaving in the open air. Refrigeration helps to maintain the freshness and quality of the eggs for a longer period. Storing eggs in the refrigerator helps to slow down bacterial growth such as salmonella and extends their shelf life. The cool temperature helps to preserve the egg's internal quality such as its taste, texture, and nutritional content. To ensure maximum freshness and safety, it is best to store eggs in their original carton in the refrigerator, as this helps to protect them from absorbing odors and preventing moisture loss through the shell. Remember to always check the expiration date or recommended best before date on the carton, and discard any eggs that are cracked, leaking, or have an unusual odor before consumption. Myth number 3. Egg yolk has cholesterol and should be avoided for better heart health. Evidence suggests eggs have only a very small effect on blood cholesterol levels, especially at normal levels of intake. While egg yolks are high in cholesterol and are a major source of dietary cholesterol, it is saturated fatty acids that have a greater effect on blood cholesterol levels. The white of a large egg provides 3.6 grams of protein, but you'll also find an additional 2.7 grams hanging out in the yolk. The yolk is also home to all the heart-healthy fats and hefty doses of vitamins like riboflavin, vitamin D, and B12. Nutrients like choline and selenium are also in abundance. Many health-conscious folks opt for egg whites only. Little do they know that they are wasting a huge dose of protein and other nutrients when they toss out those yolks. Don't believe me? Here is the evidence. In 2015, the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee removed dietary cholesterol from the list of nutrients of public health concern. In making this decision, the 2015 DGA committee referenced, among other sources, a 2013 systematic review that examined the relationship between egg consumption and cardiovascular disease in almost 350,000 participants across 16 studies. The review and meta-analysis found no relationship between egg intake and cardiovascular disease. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition assessed the association of egg consumption with blood lipids, cardiovascular disease, and mortality in 3 large international cohorts. The findings from the pure cohort found no link between egg consumption and cardiovascular disease outcomes. Yet another study was published in 2020 that was a follow-up to a landmark investigation first published in 1999. The original study, first published from Harvard School of Public Health, reported no relationship between egg intake and coronary heart disease. The researchers concluded that an egg a day did not impact heart disease or stroke risk. I will link the studies in the description if you wish to read. Fourth misconception: brown eggs are healthier than white eggs. The color of the eggshell is determined by the breed of the chicken and has no correlation with its nutritional value. Brown eggs are nutritionally similar, with the differences being purely cosmetic. Fifth in line: duck eggs can help cure piles or hemorrhoids. This is another Ayurveda-induced myth, because Ayurveda wrongly classifies some food as hot or cold. Now, this myth stems from the fact that ducks spend a lot of time in water, so it is considered cold as per Ayurveda. But nothing is further from the truth. There is no scientific evidence to support the claim that duck eggs are specifically beneficial for curing piles or hemorrhoids. While eggs, including duck eggs, can be part of a balanced diet and provide various nutrients, there is no direct correlation between consuming duck eggs and the treatment or prevention of hemorrhoids. And the final one, this one is related to hens and not eggs directly, but this is a major one, so I thought I should mention it here. Hens, especially broiler chickens, are injected with human growth hormones in order to make them grow faster. If people eat these chickens, then this leads to many health defects, including early menstruation in children. In fact, a recent meat seller in India had released a misleading ad to market their products as being hormone-free. People who propagate this conspiracy theory really has no idea of the cause of growth hormones. Only the foolish of foolish chicken farmer would feed the very expensive growth hormone to make his chicken grow fast and yet be able to sell chickens at less than rupees 200 and also earn a profit. The economic itself shows it is not viable. This wrong notion could have come up after some people saw vaccines being administered to chickens at chicken farms. Of course, chicken also need to be protected from diseases, and vaccinating them or administering antibiotics when infected is required. Hormone use in poultry farming does not pose a health risk to consumers. Even if hormones were used, they would be broken down during the chicken's metabolism or during the cooking process and would not have a biological effect on humans when consumed. So it will not reach your stomachs in the form of hormones. In the case of antibiotics, they too have a short life within an animal. That is the reason we are given a dosage which is repeated at regular intervals, like eat 1 tablet a day, etc. It is because the effects get worn off after a while. So the term no antibiotic chicken is also just a marketing gimmick to sell to gullible, chemophobic people who would pay a lot extra for the label. The growth rate of modern chickens is primarily due to genetic selection, improved nutrition, and optimized farming practices, not hormone injections. So go ahead, relish the goodness of this superfood and go cuckoo. So I hope you liked this episode, and I hope at least some of the information presented was new knowledge. If you did, please share it within your WhatsApp group. I sincerely request you to help out this channel to grow if you could. If you like my content, then please do contribute by using the super thanks button below or buy me a coffee link in the description. Your smallest of small contribution could help this channel grow. I shall be back soon with more scientific content. Until then, it's bye-bye from Pale Blue Thoughts.